This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We're at Kennedy Airport awaiting our plane. We're boarding a plane with Mayor Dinkins and Congressman Charles Rangel, who are making a flash visit to Israel, about 24 to 36 hours, I believe. They're going to visit Prime Minister Shamir, President Herzog, Moshe Aarons, the defense minister, and David Levy, the foreign minister. It's a quick move for both Rangel and Dinkins, who have been opposed to the war, but they have stated now in a press conference that their solidarity is with the state of Israel. There have been some quotations and sentiments amongst the black population that Dinkins should not be making this trip along with Rangel, and Dinkins seems to have totally wiped out that comment, as Rangel has, and said our solidarity is with the people of Israel. We'll be following the mayor and Rangel around for a day and a half as he visits these places, and especially some American troops, some American soldiers who are manning the Patriots. And we'll watch how he is received in Israel. It should be quite an interesting trip, and we hope that the audience really relates to it in some manner.
It's important to demonstrate solidarity of those of us in New York City for our friends in Israel.
But we just hope that the people in Israel know how proud we are in the United States, whether we're black or white, whether we're Jewish or Gentile, whether we're Protestant or Catholic, because when all of this is over, we know where our friends are and we know where the democracies are.
As the Consul General of New York, I'm very pleased and honored to be able to join you, which for me, at this critical moment, is an opportunity to be going home, at least for a few hours.
Thank you very much for going, and have a very nice trip.
Thank you, sir.
This is Leon Charney for Leon Charney Report, speaking with Phil Aney, who's the traffic manager for the United States, South America, North America. Elal, what is it, Phil?
This is the operation manager for Elal, for North America.
All right. Mayor Dinkins is on the plane with us tonight. Charlie Rangel, Congressman, is on the plane. But generally, how is transportation? Transportation is safe, but how are the are people traveling? That's really what I want to ask.
First of all, the flight is safe, will be on time, and the traffic generally, we have a daily flight full to Tel Aviv with all the state supporters. People like you, like Mayor Dinkins, we have just in Israelis rushing back home to see their families, and mostly American going to see families and friends.
Aney, I'm going to call you Aney because we know each other for so long a period of time. What was your emotions and your feelings when you saw television, you saw Israel scudded? How did you feel?
Bad, firstly because being away 6,000 miles, although I know there's not much to help over there, but it's a strange feeling being outside, for the first time in the war, being outside of Israel. And you feel yourself that you want to catch the first plane and run back to Israel.
We'll be back in 1 minute after commercial break. Just seen it, warm-ups for...
Okay so far?
So far it's good. You got the mayor, he asked him how he slept. It's warm-up time for Mayor Dinkins. Glad-handing and greeting people on an El Al plane. Seems to have taken such a liking to everybody. Everybody's taken a liking to him. So far, it's a good start. And everybody's getting prepared to land. We're going to be greeted by ambassadors and military people, and everybody seems very high about this trip. Hopefully it'll all go well. The mayor seems very excited. There's Charlie Rangel.
Thank you. Depend on
Charlie, how do you feel landing? What's your first
Well,
emotion?
It's exciting. I look forward to it, and it's always good for a politician to be visiting a country where his visit's appreciated, and I know that it is in Israel.
We're going to continue after commercial break and do much more with Charlie Rangel, one of the most formidable congressmen in the United States House of Representatives. We've got a day and a half more with him. This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We're on the move. We're now in Israel, Tel Aviv, Israel. We've just landed. We've had a trip of 11 hours with Charles Rangel, the congressman from New York, and Mayor David Dinkins, who's now holding a press conference inside with a bunch of Jewish leaders who came along for the trip. It's a 36-hour trip. We try to cover it as well as we can for you. The mayor is going to see the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister, the Foreign Minister, and perhaps some citizens who have been hit by Scuds. And obviously he's going to visit American troops who are manning the Patriots. He told me on a plane he has 450 T-shirts from the Department of the Fire Department and the Police Department he's going to give to the soldiers who are manning the Patriots. He's got a very, very hectic schedule. Speaking with him on the plane, I said, Dave, Mayor, why did you do it? He said, I had to show my solidarity. You might know that he was criticized very heavily by black leadership in New York yesterday for coming, saying that this was not a time for him to leave the city, nor for him to involve himself in the affairs of international politics when there's such a fiscal problem in New York. Charles Rangel, on the other hand, the congressman who's accompanying the senator, is an 11-term congressman, has been an outspoken critic of the war. And speaking with him on the plane this afternoon, I said, if you're outspoken against the war, why come? He said, Leon, it's two separate things. One is my support for Israel. Two, I'm against the war because the war is basically a war for oil. I said, Congressman Rangel, is it not about world order? He says, in a way, I guess you could look at it that way. I've landed in Israel approximately 300 times. This plane was very solemn. People obviously know that they're entering into a war zone. The first thing you see is lines of people trying to get gas masks. I doubt whether we can move very far unless we ourselves acquire gas masks. Mostly people coming to see relatives returning home. It was certainly not the old Israel that we knew just 3 months ago. We'll try to keep you up on what the average citizen in Israel is feeling and doing during this crisis period. And we hope that you don't get the wrong idea, because when I greeted my producer here from Israel, she said, everything's okay, it's not so bad. Things are doing very well. Tali, since the bombing has occurred, what have you been doing at nights? Any nightlife?
No, not really. Most of the Tel Aviv nightlife are closed. I mean, most of the bars and pubs and cinemas.
Do you feel isolated, Tali, that
No.
Americans don't
No.
come? How do you feel about that?
I don't blame anybody that don't want to come here. I really don't. I feel that each one of us do what he wants and what he feels, and each one of us stay where he feels most safe.
I've just changed my tie knot. My producer's very upset, but this is Israel. Everything's informal. We want to get into the mood of how things happen in Israel. I sense a different feeling. I've only been here for 15 minutes. I was greeted by a lieutenant colonel from the Army, who is usually the most upbeat guy I meet generally in Israel. He's usually very happy, and today there was a bit of somberness in him. We'll continue this report and see what's really going on in this country.
This is Leon Charney Report. We'll be back after the commercial break.
fragile coalition, as it were, is important in this effort. But Israel has every right to strike back, and even our government does not say don't. It says we're pleased that you have not, but cannot, would not say don't. I'll carry back the message that the people of Israel appreciate this expression of support and solidarity.
This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We've just witnessed Mayor Dinkins and Charles Rangel visiting the Foreign Minister of Israel, David Levy. It was about a 20-minute visit. I don't suppose they solved world conflicts, but what they showed was a little solidarity between the city of New York and Israel. David Levy seemed very happy to see guests here, even photographers. I think any visitor in Israel is now welcome. We'll continue with this visit. As you can see now, I'm carrying my gas mask. Things have changed in this country very quickly. We're at the King David Hotel, and we're reacquainting ourselves with my feelings of what happened here during the Camp David days. I'd like to talk to the Consul General of the United States, Mr. Walcott, ask him how he thinks we've progressed since Camp David.
This is a very troubled place, and the two peoples that live in the city, the Israelis and the Palestinians, are still looking for a way to live with each other in peace. And I've been here for 2.5 years, and I'm convinced that both of these people are committed to doing that. Moreover, both of these communities don't want to go back to the pre-67 era where this city was divided by a wall. And that's encouraging. So we think that the prayer for the peace for Jerusalem will be vindicated. And I think that notwithstanding the war in the Gulf, the tension and the conflict here between Israelis and Palestinians and Israelis and Arabs, that there is a chance after the Gulf crisis is resolved, and it must be resolved first, to turn to this problem and address this festering conflict between the Israeli people, the Palestinian people, and the Arab states. All these people have been locked in conflict for much too long, and the resolution of the Gulf crisis, I think, is going to provide an opportunity to turn to this problem.
We have returned from Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, and we see a new constellation developing, apropos what you're talking about. The old constellation of Arab versus the Israeli state, I think, is going to change after the Persian Gulf War is over. I've gotten feedback, sort of back channel, that Saudi Arabia has a different attitude. Kuwait certainly has another attitude. We've televised Bahrain has a different attitude. And it's very possible that Jordan could make a switch too.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right. I think that over the years, the Arab states have understood that Israel is a strong, powerful state. It has a strong friend in the United States, and that it is going to be permanently a state in the Middle East. And this has brought about more realism and moderation in the Arab world. The prospect, I think, is for peace. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but the promise is there, more than it has been in the past. But we've got to deal with the crisis in the Gulf first. Hello, Abu Jarius. How are you, sir? Glad to see you. This is Mr. Charney.
Hi.
Mayor
Nice
Elias
to see you.
Straves, the mayor of Bethlehem.
I've heard of you.
A distinguished
Very famous man.
statesman and Palestinian leader.
What are your feelings today? Are we going to have a better possibility of peace once the Persian Gulf War is over?
I think once the crisis in the Persian Gulf is over, there will be a new political order throughout the Middle East based on peaceful coexistence.
And
this is what I believe. And this is what should be done.
You're the mayor of Bethlehem today.
for 20 years.
And what happens when Scud bombs come over? How do your people take it today?
Well, we do not accept it. The Scots don't have eyes. They could fall anywhere.
Is your population, does it have gas masks?
Not all of them. Tomorrow, the municipality will take the gas mask to distribute to the people.
Inshallah. The mayor of Bethlehem, Mayor Frey, very famous man who sees a new possibility of an Arab.
Where is the mayor of New York?
The mayor of New York is busy changing his suits. He likes to dress well.
But we are well dressed. So what?
Salam. Nice to see you. Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. It's Monday morning, approximately 7:15:25. Mayor Dinkins is being accompanied on a walk to the Holy Sepulchre and then to the Western Wall. Teddy Collick is accompanying him. We have two robust mayors joining together to do a feisty, healthy walk in the morning with a cloudy day. It seems to reflect the mood in Israel this morning. Alan Hevesy from the New York Assembly is with us this morning. Come over, Alan. Say hello to New York.
Good morning, Leon. Hi, everybody in New York.
Alan, what brings you to Israel, aside from Mayor Dinkins and Leon Charney?
Well, I'm an American citizen born and bred, and if America was under attack, that's where I'd be. But I am also Jewish, and the Israeli people are my people, and they're under attack, and I think that's where we should be.
I understand you're going to volunteer for a week with what they call the sort of auxiliary or volunteers for the auxiliary of the Israeli Defense Forces?
It's called the Volunteers in Israel program, and hundreds of Americans and others come to Israel to work on kibbutzim or in factories while soldiers are up at the front. They repair tanks, they pick fruit, they make gas masks. It's a wonderful program, and I encourage people who are interested in making a contribution to Israel to look for their Volunteers in Israel office and join us.
Alan Hevesy, Assistant Majority Leader to Melvin Miller in the New York Assembly, on tour with Mayor Dinkins. And Charlie Rangel's not with us this morning. He cut out, probably a little sleep. It was a late night last night. Well, he'll meet us with the Prime Minister in about 45 minutes.
It's incredible. You're going to see it's incredible how people are pulling together here and continuing their daily life. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe. The threat of missiles falling any time at night. No one sleeps and everyone goes to work.
Fantastic. What's your name?
Charles Guest.
Charles Guest, you're on television. This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report, talking with Jack Chartier. He's here on a mission to help the people of Israel, the citizens of Israel, but he's not Jewish. Jack, why are you here?
Well, this is my second visit to Israel. My first visit last April left a very, very emotional, spiritual impact on me in terms of the people of Israel and their cause. I realized for the first time how small this country really is, and yet, despite their size, how they keep fighting back. And I think everyone roots for the underdog, and that's why I'm here, to help the people of Israel in this time of need and to show the world that rather than running from Israel, they should come here and help.
I understand you're doing more than visiting. I understand you're volunteering with Alan Hevesy, the Assistant Majority Leader of the New York Assembly, to help the Israeli Defense Forces and the Volunteers for Israel program?
That's right. It was Alan Hevesy who, as I said, first brought me here to Israel, and we're back together now, and we'll be working for 1 week with the Volunteers for Israel, helping to maintain tanks, and to manufacture gas masks and gas equipment.
We are on our way trying to follow Mayor Dinkins and Teddy Kollek, who are visiting a holy sepulcher right now, and then they're going on to proceed to the Western Wall. It's definitely desolate here and definitely empty. The place is loaded with police people, Secret Service people, and all kinds of protective devices to protect the citizens of Israel, both Arab and Jew. Nothing else is open. This is a shuk that has been perennially occupied by tourists. Thousands and thousands, perhaps millions of people have passed through here, and today it's empty and desolate. A reflection of what is going on in this country and the world at this moment. Behind me is Mayor Dinkins of New York with Teddy Kollek. Alan Hevensey is on my right, following us, watching Mayor Dinkins visit the Western Wall of the Wailing Wall with Teddy Kollek. It is traditional for someone or a person, when he visits the Wailing Wall, to put a piece of paper into the wall and ask for a prayer. I suspect that Mayor Dinkins might be doing that today and hoping for physical balance and to get rid of some of the people who are against this trip. Who knows? This is a land of miracles. Anything can happen. With David Dinkins and Teddy Kollek together, it's a one hell of a combination.
To pray for peace here and everywhere in the world, and for freedom in South Africa for all people.
All right, we've just seen Mayor Dinkins put his note into the wall, which is customary, as we said before, when you make a prayer. And we understand that the prayer from Mayor Dinkins was that there be peace and harmony for all people, South Africa, the United States, Iraq, Iran, Israel, everybody, all over the world should have peace and harmony. It's a wonderful feeling on a morning that's starting to look a little bit sunny. Maybe the prayers are working.
Well, New York, first of all, is New York, but in addition to this is also a city with the largest number of Jews. And with Mayor Dinkins, who is very occupied running the city, and I know that it isn't easy to get away. It takes a day and great strain to come here to show the solidarity on his own behalf, on behalf of all the New Yorkers, is an outstanding affair, and we are deeply grateful.
Teddy Kollek, I think, expressed it basically in best terms possible, that the mayor took time out of a hectic schedule, 24 hours worth of time for New York City, and came to Israel to show his solidarity and brotherhood towards the Israeli state. And I guess he'll be very fondly remembered for it.
Congressman Rangel asked what message would he wish to take us to take back, he said, thanks. And we said that, well, that's the message we brought him, thanks and gratitude for what Israel is doing, because its actions clearly assist our troops on the front lines.
Well, there you've seen it, the mayor's visit with the Prime Minister, Charles Rangel, accompanying him. Basically an exchange of pleasantries and solidarity, support for each other's cause. I guess Shamir wants to help him with the budget, and David Dinkins wants to help him bring some feelings of goodwill from people who today may feel a bit isolated. The exchange was evidently very happy. Everybody seems very excited about being inside the room. One thing we must take note of, Shamir looks excellent. He looks very happy. He looks robust, and although I'm sure he is worried, he doesn't look very worried. This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We've just bumped into Naftali Lavie, the former Consul General of the State of Israel in the city of New York. I guess he's coming to visit Mayor Dinkins. We're following...
Not only Mr. Dinkins, the whole party.
The whole party. Charlie Rangel, Leon Charney, Elliot Rose, everybody, all the distinguished New Yorkers.
All the leaders of the community were here.
Naftali, how do you feel about the scudding?
We have a Scud land in Israel, and we have a Scandinavia in Iraq. You know that?
No, but if you could explain it to my viewers, I'd be tickled
The
pink.
Scud land is the Dan area in Tel Aviv, where the Scuds landed. And the Scandinavia area is in western Iraq, where they are launching them. So now we have a Scud land, which is Scotland, against Scandinavia.
He was always a
This is
clever
the latest
man.
Israeli.
First met him during the Camp David talks. He was the spokesman for Moshe Dayan. You remember him, the one-eyed general with the patch. Foreign Minister of Israel, Naftali was a spokesman, and then he went on to be Consul General for Israel in New York. The biggest rating we ever had on any of our shows was our Russian immigration show, showing how
I
UJA
think
was
you
welcoming.
should go again. You will see UJA is doing its job. We are trying to accommodate them to the Jewish agency. I hope next month we will have many more coming.
What do you expect in total? How many, Naftali?
The figure for this year, 1991, is about 300,000 to 400,000.
Wow.
Last
There you
year-
have it, ladies and gentlemen. 400,000 Russians coming in. Natan Sharansky was in the dinner last night with Mayor Dinkins. They say he's got 45 votes already. He's on his way to becoming Prime Minister.
By the way, 50 families of the Russian newcomers have been evacuated from their homes in the Tel Aviv area. Their homes were damaged.
Ramat Gan?
Ramat Gan and Tel Aviv, yes.
Interesting. Escaping Russia and going into an area where they're being scudded.
Last month in January, nearly 1,000 Jews from Ethiopia made Aliyah and came into this country. We expect about the same number in this month, in February. We hope that by March 1992, all the Ethiopian Jews will be in Israel.
Naftali, keep the good work
Okay.
up. We need
And
you.
Put this mask away.
This is Leon Charney at this absorption center. I think the pictures speak for themselves. What you're seeing on my left are Ethiopian Jews that are newly immigrated to Israel. And behind me is a Russian immigrant. And this is exactly what's going on in Israel today. Plane loads of Ethiopian Jews and Russian Jews concomitantly coming at one time. Uri Gordon, the master of this whole universe here, said that the main problem is time, because people are arriving way ahead of schedule, and the process is not so much money, but the time, and that's something that everybody has to overcome. He also expressed deep disappointment to me that young American volunteers are not coming, and that this effect of the scudding of Israel has had a dampening effect on young and youthful volunteers. So for all of you who wish to come to Israel, I suggest that you get in touch with the people here who want to really make you have a fulfilled life. So we're now speaking to Uri Gordon, who's head of the absorption centers here, which are taking in on a daily basis Ethiopian and Russian Jews. Uri, you must be
Jews all over the world.
And Jews all over, even Americans, if you want. You
Yes,
can
as
absorb
you-
yourself here.
We have
You got a
here.
room for me, Uri?
Come immediately. We will do something about it. Come. But I want to say to you that we have here more than 20 people from the United States who arrived in the last year.
Ori, you must be extraordinarily busy now between Russians and Ethiopians. It's probably the greatest challenge you've had in your life. Am I correct?
You're correct. I believe that we are in historical time. Very difficult, but it's a historical time. And I believe that we will do the best that we have to do and we can do to absorb them.
What is the feeling when I come here during the Scud bombing? Are they afraid, the immigrants?
First of all, I'm also afraid a little. This is very natural. But I want to say to you that yesterday I was in the airport in the night when Jews came from Russia, and I don't find that they are afraid. They believe that they come to a country, that they have to live here, and what will be with the Israelis will be with them. And they say to me openly that we are not afraid if you are not afraid. I was ashamed to say to them that I am afraid, but I promise you that we will exist and everything will be fine in spite of all the difficulties.
Here we have it, Uri Gordon, the man on the spot with immigration in Israel, which is coming in, and it's a torrential pace. A great human being. I've known him for quite some years, and we've known each other. We never looked each other eye to eye, and now we have the pleasure.
Yes, really the pleasure.
This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. I'm in Mevatzeret Zion, where Mayor Dinkins is inside attending an Ulpan class. He's going to teach Hebrew now to the New York City Council. He's learning how young children, Ethiopians and Russians, adapt very quickly to learning Hebrew and how they become members of the Israeli community pronto. It's a marvelous job that's going on. The mayor's spending quite a long time inside. I guess he's enjoying himself. I suspect that the mayor will come back and address the city council in Hebrew. We're here with Ambassador Uri Savia, the Consul General of Israel, accompanying David Dinkins, the mayor of New York, on a blitz of Israel for 24 hours. What do you think, Uri? How's it going?
It's going very well. First of all, I'm happy to be home. That's most important for me personally. But I
Where's
must
your
say,
guest miss? Oh.
We are safe. But I must say that I must express appreciation for what the mayor is doing. Many people are talking, many people are demonstrating. He's coming. And you can see by the reaction of Israelis how much it means to them that he is here, physically here, appreciating his solidarity, his expressions of support. And I hope he's, by this, really sending the message that the way to express solidarity is to come here for many New Yorkers, for Jewish New Yorkers, for New Yorkers of all races and colors, and maybe for mayors all around the United States.
Why do you think he was criticized in New York by some people in the black community?
Well, probably because they don't understand what's going on here and don't understand his motives. And I think his motives are to express his appreciation what people are going through here. You see this little kid going around with these gas masks. It's incredible. 3-4-year-old children. Every night you go to bed and you can't fall asleep because you're afraid to be waken up by a siren. This is a very shocking and traumatic event, especially for the kids and for the whole country. If people would understand why he's here, they wouldn't be demonstrating.
Or you got a background in foreign relations. You work for Shimon Peres, who was Prime Minister of Israel. Your scenario, what's going to happen? Any ideas?
It's not easy to predict. I think at the end of the day, Saddam Hussein will be defeated. Because the coalition is much more mighty, both in terms of physical power and in terms of its values. It's really a struggle of freedom and democracy against tyranny and brutality. And at the end of the day, we'll have a Middle East without a dangerous Iraq, which will be safer and maybe a way and a path towards stability and peace.
When you came home last night, I'm sure you spoke to a few of your friends. Do you feel Israel's a little different because of the Scud threat all the time?
It is different. People are more serious. People are more united. People are more self-disciplined. And people have, again, like many times in the past, the basic understanding what this country and the struggle for the existence of this country is all about.
There you have it, Ambassador Uri Savir, Consul General to New York from Israel, accompanying the mayor on this trip. This is Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report, someplace in Israel with U.S. Marines. Marines, sir?
No, Army.
Army. Where are you from?
I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
You want to say hello to your mother?
Yes, hello, Mom. And my wife, Shirley, and kids. From Harlan, Wisconsin. Dan Carter, I want to say hi to my parents and my whole family back there.
West Point cadet. Rode 9W many times with his girlfriend, I bet.
Won't comment on that.
It's Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We are talking to you from a Patriot missile base. We can't discuss where we're at. However, what's interesting here is the phenomenon of seeing American soldiers on Israeli territory, something quite unusual. The Americans seem quite happy with what's going on, and it's something I think all of us have to get a little bit used to. Dinkins, the mayor of New York, is now visiting Patriot sites and getting all kinds of briefings. And I guess he'll be well informed now if he has to missile his city council if they disagree with him. In any case, it's a continuation of Mayor Dinkins' 24-hour blitz through Israel. This is Leon Charney for Leon Charney Report, continuing the blitz of Mayor David Dinkins and Charles Rangel, the congressman. 24 hours in Israel. They're now visiting the Hatikva site where the Scud attacks were very, well, they were successful. They penetrated the area. As you can see behind me, there's a school that's been demolished. Chichelahat, the indefatigable mayor of Tel Aviv, is now showing Mayor Dinkins what the Scuds have done to the city of Tel Aviv. People are wearing buttons now saying they are patriotic to Tel Aviv, Ani Tel Avivi, and it seems to be a new sense of patriotism that one should not run away from Tel Aviv, as many have, and they've gone to Eilat, and they've gone to Jerusalem and other cities which they think are safe havens. Chichelahat has been known to discuss this matter very profoundly on television and world media. He insists that people who do leave Tel Aviv are basically traitors. That's what he's called them, and he's got in some political conflict because of that. But no matter how you look at it or how you speak about it, what speaks for itself is the fact that the Scuds have hit, and there has been tremendous damage. We understand that 4,000 to 5,000 apartments have been demolished, and we know that 200 people have been wounded and 4 people killed. So this is a successful, quote, hit by the Iraqis towards the state of Israel. It's Leon Charney for the Leon Charney Report. We're finishing the blitz of Charles Rangel and Mayor David Dinkins. We have here the indefatigable Mayor Chichelahat of Tel Aviv, a man who's caused profound interest in his city all over the world by saying those who leave the city might be considered maybe a traitor.
No, deserters.
Man's honest. What'd you think of Dinkins' visit, Chich?
It was very lovely, really. Nice, important, and we appreciate it immensely. I mean, look, I mean, a man of his kind, I mean, who has to run a city like New York City, which is not simple. I don't have to tell it to you. takes his time, comes and stays with us, affiliates, and really appreciates us.
Very few people know this, Chich. I flew in with him upstairs.
Yeah.
His eye was totally red when he got up.
I noticed it today.
He was under tremendous impediment,
Yes.
and he had tremendous criticism in New York for coming.
Really?
Very big criticism.
Why?
A lot of the black community was against his trip.
I see.
And he
I
came
see.
despite it. Most people probably don't know that here.
No, that's true, yes. This makes it even more important.
That's right.
And more serious. Yes. No, chapeau, as we say. Yes, I take my hat off for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen Chich Lahat. This is the mayor of the world. He's going to win a Nobel Prize for making people happy in a desperate time. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Leon. Okay, be well.
Dave, fast, quickly, your emotions before you miss the plane. Rangel can't hold the plane.
Well, it's a very moving experience. I was asked a moment ago whether or not this had changed my views in any way, and I said no, it hadn't, for the same reason that Congressman Rangel and I came here. However, witnessing these incidents firsthand, seeing up close the damage done at Tel Aviv, especially Hatikva, and talking with the people, the government officials and the people, seeing the children, will give me an ability, I hope, to more graphically portray that which I've seen.
Charlie, I've been outstandingly impressed by you. We've never known each other that well. Your feelings about the war have not changed, but your feelings about Israel are stronger than ever. Am I correct or incorrect?
You got that 100%, and it proves really that courage is not necessarily fighting. Courage is taking a blow, having confidence in your allies, and still not losing face. And that's what the courage that Israel has shown. A country that has known persecution by her people and yet has the strength to say, not at this time, but when we are ready. I really think that is a courage that we don't hear enough about today.
You guys are brothers. I just want to be a cousin. All right? Have a good trip, Dave.
Thanks,
We'll see you in
Leon.
New York.
Thanks.
Watch the show. Take care, Charlie. We'll see you next week with a new show. That's Dave Dinkins and the Blitz.
The preceding program was paid for by CCN Broadcasting Limited. It comes to you from WNYC's Leith Time Service, a distinct component of WNYC-TV.